it's me, Erica, and yay, it's the end of 12 days of videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm actually very proud of myself because I got everything mostly on time except for the last minute stuff, but for the most part, I hope you really enjoyed it, and what better yet to end the 12 days with a video behind the scenes of how I film, think, and formulate my videos so you can see how I do it, and maybe I'll help you. But it is winter break, and if you want to do something on winter break, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel or something, and it might be good for you guys to know how I do mine so I can help formulate your video. So with that, let us get started. So the first thing when you're making a YouTube channel, at least for me, is the idea section. So my channel is centered around fandom related things, even though I'm called I Love Anime Web Show. It's more of a fandom. It's not just solely to anime, even though that's most of my content. So that can branch out to different things. So some people focus solely on figure reviews, some people focus solely on anime reviews, and some people just do a mixture of things, is which I wanted to do because I don't like having just one set of videos. But the most popular ones on my channel are actually the DIY videos, and I actually have a lot of fun filming those things. So when it comes to the other types of videos such as figure unboxings, you need figures for that, so you should buy figures if you're going to be centered around that. But if you're just an anime or fandom related channel, maybe you want to be doing a review channel, so you would just be reviewing anime. So for DIY videos, because that is the main bulk of my channel, apart from cosplay videos and other stuff like that, which is very self-explanatory when you film those kind of videos. You could just have to think of the character. But for DIYs, it's a little more thought process of that, because you have to figure out what anime you want to do, what DIY you want to make. But for that certain thing, I feel like when you're doing DIYs, don't go to like other YouTubers for ideas. It's hard to be original in a DIY place because it feels like everyone has been already doing that DIY. But when I say start, don't binge watch a bunch of DIY videos and then try to make them your own, I guess. But it helps a little bit when you're in a rut. But for me, what I do is that I either watch an anime of the season or a previous season and see what part of the anime is actually a very big focal point of it. So example, I'll just name a huge example. For my Usa-chan cookies, I was thinking, what is such a big part of Oran High School Host Clubs apart from the Sakura cherry blossoms? And the one big part I saw was Usa-chan, so I was like, what can I do with Usa-chan? So I had cookie mix, I had a bunny cookie cutter, and I was like, oh, I'll make Usa-chan cookies. Or I could be like, oh, Pio-chan is such a big part of Utano Prince-sama, so I have apples, I have yellow chocolate melts, and then I'll make Pio-chan apples, and that's like the thought process I go to. But other times it'll be like I'll be strolling around a craft store such as Michael's or Daiso, and I look around through this section and say, huh, I really like this, what can I use to make from this? Another example for that is like, oh, I see a box. I have a collab with a YouTuber which was Anime Intensity, so I was like, what can I do that's Pokemon related and make that? Okay, I'll make Pokemon coming out of that box, and I see milk bottles, so Moo Moo Milk is part of Pokemon, so I can put the milk bottles as pencil holders. And that's how my thought process for DIYs work. So it's either I look at the focal point of the anime, or I look at the supplies that are available in the craft stores and try to formulate my ideas over that. So for filming, I actually use a tripod and my DSLR Nikon camera, but before I didn't use that in my previous DIYs videos and my other previous videos. I actually used a Canon Handycam, and I'll leave the official names of these things down below. Canon Handycam was actually pretty cool. It was actually a good quality for a beginning camera, and I still use that camera for a lot of my vlogs, as you can see, because it's a bit easier to hold than this huge camera. When I'm at cons, usually I use the big camera if I'm at a convention, but I'm not the one videotaping it. It's my friend that's videotaping it, because holding that huge camera to my face is too hard and very dangerous if you drop this one. So I usually use that handy cam for vlogs now, and if you're gonna do vlogs, I suggest getting a high quality camera if you can afford it, but any camera is fine, with a flip screen so you can actually see your face, because it's a little bit harder to do if you can't. That camera was nice because of course it had a flip screen when I was doing DIYs and other videos, so that I could actually see myself doing them without having to go back and forth in the screen. But I later transitioned to a Nikon DSLR camera just because I really wanted one, and it wasn't because I wanted to do more YouTube. It was just because I really I like cameras, and my parents decided to get me one because it was my graduation gift, but it's also for them also, so like if we go on trips then they can use it. But if you aren't gonna invest in a camera, I suggest any camera. If you're beginning, don't go out to always buy a huge expensive camera like this unless you have other means to use it. So even though I use mainly this camera for my videos, I don't use it just for my videos. My parents use it to take pictures when we go to places together. But when I actually film my videos, this Nikon doesn't have a flip screen, so I can't see what I'm doing. So it's sometimes hard when I'm filming videos such as this because I can't see what I'm doing, so I have to program it before, and sometimes it doesn't always end up the way I want it to. But it is cool in that if you have a tendency to look at the flip screen, that's not always the place where you're supposed to look. You're supposed to look at the lens. For DIYs, I usually put the camera in front, and then I just flip the DIY in my video editing software to 180 so it looks like you're doing it the right way, because it's hard to do it in between your legs, because then you can't really do the certain thing or certain project you want to do. And that's another thing, if you're filming a DIY, don't film all of the you can film all of it if you want, but like you don't want to be like having a 2-minute video clip of you cutting, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people know how to cut. And then for sit down videos like this, I usually just put it on a tripod and hope for the best, and I try to focus it on like a certain object, such as I'll use my hand in the scene so that it can go through. But when it comes to cosplay videos, most of the time I just use my handy cam, and then I use my friend. I have my friends take videos and pictures with this nice camera when I go to gatherings, or when I videotape other gatherings, because that one is more substantial than me talking to the camera, I guess, sometimes. And then for makeup videos, for my cosplay makeup videos, those are too hard to film by myself, so I asked my sister to help me because my camera doesn't autofocus all the time like some other cameras do. So if I was doing my makeup for certain videos, it'd be too hard for me to like do the makeup and also see that it's focused on me, so I have my sister do it. And going along with filming, so for filming you want to be doing it during the daytime where there's natural lighting outside, because natural lighting is the best lighting. There are ring lights available which help produce that natural looking light at night if you do film at night, because of course we're all students here. Most of the times you can't film in the morning unless it's the weekend, so you're filming after school at like 3-ish sometimes. For daylight savings, like at 5 it already gets like super dark, so it's kind of unavoidable sometimes. But if you do have to film in dark, which I have to do sometimes because I'm either running out of time or I just have to do it at night because there's no other way to do it, try your best to get some natural lighting, so get like some white light. I suggest that doing that only for sit-down videos because it's not too bad, but it's harder for like DIY videos and figure videos because there's so much shadows that come into play when you're actually using that light, because then you might not be able to see what you're doing. But don't like just completely film in the dark. Also with filming, most of the filming videos I do are actually mostly voiceovers, so for voiceovers they're actually very magical because you can say whatever you want in other videos because you know that it's going to be a voiceover, but except for these kind of sit-down talk videos, you can't do a voiceover unless it's really hard, unless you want to do a separate mic. But for most of my videos, such as my cosplay videos, my DIY videos, with the exception of the vlog videos and the figure reviews, most of them are done with voiceovers just because it'll be hard to explain what you're doing at the same time as when you're doing it sometimes. And sometimes your thought process isn't always as clear as you want it to be because you're doing multiple things at one time. And from psychology, that's not, multitasking never works. You can only keep like 7 or 8 things in your mind. So if you're doing like cutting and then trying to explain how to color it, it's too hard. But the magic of voiceovers is you can write them later. I usually do either a script or just some main points because sometimes I get lazy and I just want to write main points and then just talk what's going on in the video. With voiceovers, you can say anything. In the previous videos, you can even like sing if you want, or which is really helpful because in a lot of my voiceovers, sometimes my family members come to my room to tell me to do something, or I'm just talking to someone else while they're in the room, or I'm singing in my voiceovers, which I'll kind of insert clips here of some of that instances to see what the magic is actually about.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. In the rain, the pavement shines like silver. All the lights are misty in the river. In the darkness, the trees they fall like starlight. Na 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 na. Forever and forever.
You just walked out of the frame.
But it's not most of it, right?
Yeah.
So after filming your video, of course, you want to transfer all of that to your computer and start editing. So for my editing software, I actually use Sony Vegas Pro 9, I believe, or Pro. It's just Sony Vegas, and I previously used video editors when I was younger. Of course, I use Windows Movie Maker, and for sometimes projects I just use iMovie. Those are actually very substantial devices to use if you're starting out, and that's what I did before in some of my earlier videos. They're not really anime related, I'll just insert them here, but it's like, it's not too hard to actually do, and that's what most people have because it's included with your computer. I'd say it's easier to use Windows Movie Maker for me just because I really love Windows instead of Mac, because Mac is oversimplified, but sometimes it's kind of confusing to do what you want to do on a Mac, I guess. But with Sony Vegas, it gives me more ability to actually cut scenes I want to have voiceovers along with music. So that's why I really like it, because I feel like in Windows you can't always do that. You only can have one audio file and then one video file, so it's hard to overlap something. I will show how I edit. Most of the times for videos, I just cut the clips that I have so it's not too boring and don't have a scene running on for a long time, and also cut all the times you stammer. And editing for the most part is not too hard. It's mostly just cutting out the dead spots in my videos and adding a little bit of saturation, but not too much to the point it makes fake, because sometimes what comes out of YouTube and out of your computer is a little bit different, so that's why I do. But for editing, that is I feel like that's the most challenging thing, just to find the time and patience to do it, because sometimes it takes a very long time and it could get repetitive sometimes to do it. So when editing, you also have to choose music. I use a mixture of like royalty-free music and copyrighted music, just because my videos aren't monetized, so I won't be able to get money from them anyways. So if I have a copyrighted song, which I only do sometimes, now that I found the magic of royalty-free music that actually sounds really good, I use it on videos because I'm not making any money of them, so I don't really need to keep in mind like the music I use for some of the videos. But for non-copyrighted music, like royalty-free music, there's actually really cool sites where you can buy some or even download some for free, such on YouTube, like no copyright sounds and all that, which help make the video a little more interesting, so that on the dead spots where you don't talk but you have to show what you're actually doing in some of these videos. It keeps it more lively so they're not just staring at a silent screen. So after your editing has all been done, it's time to post it. So the cool thing about YouTube now is that now everyone can make a customized thumbnail. So try to make your thumbnails as interesting as possible. Try to get the best shot of your thing or a funny shot so people are interested in your videos, because I've had people click on my videos just because they looked like they had a very nice thumbnail. Example, my origami one I did before. My cousin who subscribed to this channel was like, "Oh, I really want to watch your video because you have a very nice thumbnail." And that's what he told me. I was like, yeah, I know. It looks really visually appealing. So sometimes the thumbnail is what drags people on. But when you're posting, example, you're posting an anime review or a DIY or a con vlog. So like for DIYs, I center them around when the anime episode is gonna drop. So example, if I did a Yuri on Ice thing and I know Yuri on Ice comes out every Wednesday, I should put my Yuri on Ice DIY out on Wednesday, because that's when people are going to actually look for Yuri on Ice material the most, because the new episode's out. So everyone's going to be looking at the tags in Tumblr, the tags on Twitter, and etc. And the same goes for other things, like if you're going to do a review on an anime, it doesn't necessarily mean you can not do one like 2 years later after the anime airs, but more people are going to be looking forward to that review once the anime has either finished airing, like probably 2 months later or something. So if you want to do like my Dance with the Devils review, I reviewed that anime probably 2 weeks or a month after the anime ended, and that's because most people are interested in the previous anime seasons that had aired when they're starting to look at the winter or etc. But it doesn't mean that you can't film like, oh, an Ouran High School Host Club review in like right now, even though that anime ended in 2016. It's just that it might not get as much exposure as you want it to. It's the same thing that goes with my con vlogs. Of course, more people are going to be watching the con vlogs after the convention is done. So basically a week or 2 weeks or even a month after the convention is done, just because everyone wants to relive the memories and have that peace with them. You wouldn't want to release a con vlog 6 months later, just because most people are either done with that convention or they just don't remember it. I mean, there'll be like some people that want to watch it, but it's the key moment to uploading like pictures and videos that are convention related is 2 weeks or 1 week after the convention is stopped or has ended. You wouldn't probably want to do it while the convention's going on, just because not that many people are going to watch it because they're going to be enjoying the vlog. So that's why I put a lot of my con vlogs a week after, or you see a lot of people putting the convention vlogs a week after the convention is done, just because for editing wise you're also tired, but it also gives a lot of people time to watch it after their convention. And my last tip is that if a video isn't the way you want it, don't be afraid not to upload it the day you want to. So example, this video was supposed to go up on Wednesday, which was what I'm filming today, but I realized that if I filmed at night on Tuesday, I wouldn't have the time or like the patience. It wouldn't look too good to you guys or to me. Like, I wouldn't be proud of the video if I had released it today with like a crappy quality video. So don't be afraid to do that, because I've done that a few times with some of my videos. Like, I just can't get it done because of course YouTube isn't my main objective. My main objective is school, my work, volunteer opportunities, because I am not a full-time YouTuber. I'm a college student getting a science degree, and that's with a so I can't always focus on YouTube. And there are times where I'm like, I really want to finish this, but I just can't. But just save that moment, because what you produce later when you're actually able to is much better than what you're going to produce haphazardly before. So don't be afraid to like take a step back and say I can't upload this video today, it's not as what I wanted. It's more quality over quantity, as people say when you're uploading videos. So with that, I am finished with my behind the scenes video and how to do filming for videos, I guess. But I hope you learned something about it, and I hope you learned something about how I formulate some of my video ideas, and maybe it'll help you start your YouTube channel, or maybe just see what goes into the minds of some of the YouTubers you watch when you're watching their videos, and maybe you might become a new YouTuber this winter season. And with that, that is all. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and also the many videos I posted for my 12 days of videos. And I don't know if I'll be posting that many videos right after this, just because it is winter break. I'm going to be spending it with my friends that came back from college along with family. But if there are going to be videos, I don't think it might be DIYs. It's going to be more adventure videos and some funny videos along there, because my friends are back from college, so maybe we'll film videos then. And with that, thank you so much, you guys, for watching, and see you next time.